conservation crew, and welcome to another Nature Diaries. I genuinely can't remember the last time I filmed one of these. Stu's kind of been holding down the fort more recently. I think probably the last time was in Wales, so in the summer. It's now autumn, my favourite time of year, and if you've been with us for a long time, you know that we love to get out in the woods this time of year and watch all the leaves change colour and get super cosy and enjoy woodlands and things. So today we're at Henbury Woods in Buckfast, and it's near Buckfast Lee, so just outside of Totnest basically in Dartington. So we're going to have a nice woodland walk, bring you guys along with us, and let's get autumnal. Now this woodland's actually a National Trust site, and it's also on Dartmoor, which is a national park. It's our most local national park, and unfortunately, I don't know why, but me and Stu haven't really explored Dartmoor together very much. But I want to solve this issue quite soon, really, and start exploring the tools and things, because there's so much to explore up on Dartmoor. But we're just saying it's nice to actually be in a woodland on Dartmoor, because it's quite barren really. It's mainly moorland, not many trees left. But of course, back in the day, probably hundreds of years ago, but don't quote me on that, there was actually a lot more tree cover. So I'm just enjoying this nice little bit of greenery. We've just made it down to the river, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a really nice, wide river, which are quite typical of Dartmoor actually. Shallow and wide. Yeah, it's very nice. You can really feel the temperature drop since we've come down to the river, like the cooling of the water, and there's quite a lot of tree cover down here. It's very pretty. You made that look way easier than it actually is.
So this woods is absolutely beautiful, and there's loads of mature trees which are good to see. But unfortunately the picture's similar to most places in the UK. All we can hear is the rustling of the trees and the water. And if you look around, this ecosystem should be actually teeming with wildlife. So if we look down the river now, if we were somewhere like North America, in Canada and so on, we'd probably be keeping an eye out for bears, for example. Even when we went to Sweden and Europe, you know, we were just searching constantly for wildlife. We would see red squirrels, we would look out for pine martens and so on. And we've been in the woods about half an hour now, and I've heard one bird, and it really just highlights the concern we should have for nature in the UK. And over the last couple of weeks there's been lots of news reports, and it's made the national news about how depleted biodiversity is in the UK. So it's something we really need to address, and it is a crisis, and we need to treat it like a crisis. Last week as well, there was another key report published, this time by Rewilding Britain and also Friends of the Earth, and they've estimated that over 1 million acres of forest could actually grow if we just allowed it to grow through natural regeneration. So here in Henbury Woods, we've got a couple of saplings behind me. We've got some hazel and also some beech, and these are just literally growing off the natural seeds or the natural nuts shed by the tree. But as soon as we get to the border of the forest, again, it's just barren fields, and these woodlands aren't allowed to spread, so they're very much contained, and we're containing nature and wildlife. The organisations I've just mentioned have actually started campaigning to put to the government that we should allow natural regeneration, and it's something we wholeheartedly support as well. I mentioned bears. Imagine we were in the UK and we were walking along our footpath and there's caves like this. This one, I don't want to shine a torch into it in case there's wildlife in there, but it probably goes back about 8 metres at least. So imagine in the winter we had bears hibernating, how cool it would be. Obviously there's health and safety concerns, but the excitement and the tourism these animals could bring in, and also how they could help regenerate the environment, would be fantastic. So it's something we would support. We might be a bit ambitious with bears, but one day maybe we'll get there. Guys, we found one, a European brown bear. Now of course this is only a virtual reality one because they've become extinct 1,000 years ago in our country, but this habitat would be such good habitat for this species. But truth be told, we've seen a few ducks and a robin. There's not much animal life in the UK anymore, unfortunately.
I have to say that this woods is absolutely beautiful, and something you don't really see in woodlands in our area anyway. It's very vast, it's very big, it's got lots of space. Unlike our local woodlands, you kind of walk through them and you're in and out within 20 minutes, but here it's just, I almost feel like I'm in Sweden or something, which would be lovely, wouldn't it? But if you haven't been to Henbury Woods and you live nearby, so if you're Totnes, South Devon, Torbay, Teignbridge, etc., it's only about half an hour, 45-minute drive from you, so make sure you come and check it out. The only thing I will say is there's not much parking, but it's probably a blessing really, so that this beautiful woodland doesn't get totally kind of overpopulated. So one of my favourite things about this time of year, aside from all the beautiful green leaves turning orange, is this. I absolutely love fungi and mushrooms, and these are absolutely spectacular ones. We found a really, really cool, beautiful log covered in porcelain mushrooms, and you can really see why they get the name. So I thought I'd give you guys a little life update really. So I started a new job, I moved on from my last job. Essentially I was doing the same job in a new place at a new college as an animal technician, and I've stepped up now to cover some maternity leave, and I'm working full-time as an animal instructor, so I'm teaching practical animal husbandry, handling, health, welfare, enrichment, all that kind of stuff. So as you can imagine, I've been very, very busy and extremely tired in the evenings. So me and Stu haven't really been getting out much. I've got my weekends back for now, which is lovely. So we get Saturdays and Sundays off together. But we both actually work in the same place now, which is even better. But essentially that's why we haven't really been out doing much nature stuff. We've just been kind of taking it easy because you don't want to burn yourself out this time of year. But really exciting news. So we've got a week coming, and then the last week in October is half term. So me and Stu are going away. We're heading over to the New Forest, Dorset way, and we're staying in a log cabin in the woods for 4 nights, I believe. So we're going to bring you guys along with us, and we're going to do lots of nature diaries of our walks and our nature stuff that we get up to. And if you head on to Roam with BB, we'll be taking the Beebster, and I'll be vlogging my my travels on that channel and what we get up to there. So make sure you subscribe. But in the meantime, let's enjoy this fabulous woodland. And what I was getting to, guys, I get so easily distracted and I just move on to the next thing. But why I came on camera just now was to say, like, I really needed this today. Like, I needed some woodland time, some walking time, to spend some time in nature, essentially, because while my job is outdoors, I spend all day outdoors, which is great, wind, rain, snow, sunshine, but we haven't had much chance to actually get out into nature, doing our walking, which you know we love to do. So that's why we're out today, and we've actually scored massively high with this woodland. It's just spectacular. So many amazing fungi around. The river is beautiful. It's really big and spacious, but it's like when you drive down to the car park to start your walk here, you can see how dense it is, and it's a really big patch of woodland. But unfortunately, this is quite rare in the UK because everything's so fragmented by roads and settlements, towns, farmland, whatever it is. Most of our woodlands are cut off from other woodlands, which obviously poses a bit of a threat to wildlife populations and restricts their ability to travel and find resources and things. So it's just really, really refreshing to be in a local woodland that kind of ticks all the biodiversity boxes, really. So we're heading away from the river now. It's a really lovely walk along the river, but you kind of come to a dead end. So we're going up now, and we're following a sign that says fort. So we're going to go and see if we can find a fort before we head back to the car park. So while we know that wildlife is depleted in the UK, there is hope, because there is such a thing as rewilding. And rewilding is really kind of leading the way these days with restoring our nature in the UK and other parts of the world. And if you want to see any of our rewilding videos, please check out our channel. And I'll pop a few in the cards throughout the video too. You never know, with rewilding, one day the UK could be restored to its former glory. Well, that's it for another Nature Diaries today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I thoroughly did. Make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. We don't just do Nature Diaries, we do loads of other stuff too, so make sure to check our other videos out. And like the video if you enjoyed it, comment, let us know what you think. So let us know if you've been here before, Henbury Woods near Totnes and Dartington, Buckfastleigh. And see you in the next one.